So just get yourself nice and comfortable in a nice upright position on your chair. So we're going to do a shorter meditation this morning. So you may just wish to use your normal chair rather than starting. Sometimes, I think you might start sitting on an armchair or lying down. So just get yourself nice and comfortable in the chair that you're going to do your practice in. And you want to have something underneath your feet as well if the feet don't comfortably rest on the floor or the ground beneath you. So I'm using a bolster, but you could use some books or a step, or if you have some yoga blocks, just anything that would be nice and supportive and grounding there for the feet, and have the knees in line with the hips or slightly lower rather than higher. If you'd like to have some music for your class or for your relaxation afterwards, just get that ready. And you'll also need something like a belt or a band or a scarf, head scarf, neck scarf, something that you can use just to help with a little bit of stretching later as well. So come to rest, come to settle on your chair, and take a moment to remove the flesh from the sit bones, just so that you can be fully rooted. So your bum resting in the seat is almost acting as your base here. It's, you have the feet connecting on the floor, but most of the body weight is being supported by the seat of the chair. Press down with the sit bones, lengthen up through the spine, and just roll the palms forwards. Invite the shoulders to open, nice openness across the heart space at the front of the body, and the shoulder blades to come together at the back of the body, and then just release yourself back to the chair. So invite your chin to dip slightly in the direction of your chest. You can close the eyes if it's comfortable to do so. And if you prefer to keep the eyes open, just have your gaze nice and long and low. And allow your awareness to find your breath. As the body settles, and you allow your awareness, the focus of your attention, to rest on the breath, simply notice the coming and the going as the breath moves in to the body, as the breath moves through you, and as the breath releases again. And just stay with this for a few moments, and on the inhalations as the body lengthens and expands, just feel that breath moving in to you, through you, washing over you, bringing in nurturance, vitality, re-energizing the body. And as the breaths leave, and the breath washes back out again, releases back out, just knowing that the breath is cleansing, detoxing, purifying, and allow it to carry away any cares, worries, concerns, any tension in the physical body, but also any tension in the mental body. Perhaps a little emotional release as well. So almost like the sea washing in, and imagine this wave of the incoming breath carrying in all that serves your highest good, all that serves your well-being. And on the exhalations, washing back out, cleansing, releasing, purifying. And let the breaths be nice and long, deep, slow and full. So ride the waves of the inhalation all the way to the peak. And then exhaling and releasing the breath all the way to empty. All the way to the base of the exhale. And then allowing the inhale to return in its own time. Again, just inviting the longest, deepest, slowest, most nourishing breath available to you into the body. And then letting that go when the time comes, letting it release. Letting go of any attachments to anything being a particular way. And making space for new breath, new life, new opportunity to take its place. I'm just going to introduce a short counting into the breath, which is short counting meditation. And just take this into your own mind, so doing this in your own time, at your own pace, rather than trying to keep up. We're going to count backwards from 5 to 1, and then back up to 5. Every inhalation and exhalation will be represented by a number. So taking a nice full inhalation in your own time. Exhale, count 5. Just the number 5. Inhaling 4. Exhaling 3. Inhaling 2. Exhaling 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 3. Inhale 4. Exhale 5. And just repeating one round of that yourself in your own mind. So starting at 5 and working your way back to 1. Nice long, full, deep inhalations and exhalations, every number represented, or every breath represented by a number. And then all the way back up to 5 again. And then wherever you are, just letting that go. Just having that as something maybe to come back to at some point during the day when you just want a 2-minute breather, a 2-minute break, or to maybe interrupt a thought cycle or a thought pattern that mightn't be so helpful to you. Is just stop, count the breath from 5 to 1, and then all the way back up to 5 again. And then you can repeat that or just continue on with your day. So I'm just going to invite you in your own time to start to slowly open the eyes, keeping your gaze long and low, just allowing the light to make its way in. And then little by little, so that you blink if you need to, but so that the light doesn't come in and dazzle you too much too quickly. Start to extend your gaze forwards until you're coming to more of a neutral position with your gaze and a line out in front of you. Move down with your sit bones as you inhale and lengthen the crown towards the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to allow your face, your head to drift towards your left shoulder. Move to the end of the exhale and then pause, and that might only take you perhaps halfway, not maybe all the way to the shoulder. Inhaling, refueling, and then continuing to move towards that left shoulder on your exhale. And if you find that you haven't reached the shoulder at the base of the exhale, pause again when you inhale. or pause on the inhale at the outer range of your motion if you're already there. And then as you exhale, just drop that shoulder away a little further from your chin. See if you want to roll a little more into or past that shoulder with your gaze. On your next inhalation, just start that nice, slow journey back towards center. And it's the slowest movement possible. So as your gaze starts to come back towards center, if you find that you've reached the peak of your inhale before you get back, pause on your exhale. And then continue the journey back on the inhale again. It might almost feel like you're barely moving. You know that you're moving because you reach center. But there's such a slow movement. It's a really nice mindful effort. So take a nice full inhalation here on your own time. And then on your exhale, we're going to start the journey out to the right side. And again, it's a really slow, mindful, drifting, easy movement sideways. So pause at the end of the exhale while you refuel on the in-breath. Continue to move across on the next exhalation, maybe all the way towards the shoulder, or you might want 3 goes to get there. And then wherever you are, on your next exhalation, just see, can you gaze a little further in the direction that you're moving? You might already have reached the outer range of your range of motion, the outer limit. Or you might have a little bit more space to move in to drop that shoulder away again from the chin. And whenever you're ready on an inhalation, start a nice slow journey back towards center. Pause on the exhalation if you find that you haven't completed that journey. And then move again nice and slowly on the inhalation. Exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. And then as you inhale, invite the shoulders up towards the ear lobes, release the arms from the thighs and drop the shoulders back behind you on your exhale. And we'll repeat that a couple more times. And you might like to sigh on the exhale, so inhaling, shoulders up towards the ears, and then dropping round behind you. Exhaling, shoulders and elbows towards the waist. Inhaling up towards the ears, exhaling and dropping. And then take the arms a little away from the body, roll the palms forwards. And as you inhale, start to expand the arms around to the sides. The thumbs are coming around to the side of the outside of the body and almost back behind you until you get your full external rotation there with the arms. So your biceps are moving outwards. When you exhale, start to roll the palms in towards the thighs, and then thumbs come in alongside the body. And fully complete that rotation. So take it so that the palms are maybe out to the sides of the body, or the outer sides of the body here. And then roll around again in your next inhalation. So we're internally and externally rotating the arms here. So take that to the full extent that your arms wish to go. On your exhale, back round in the opposite direction. And again, fully mobilizing the arms, so we're rolling into almost the ball and socket joints here, and then once more in each direction. So it's a really nice engagement for the arms. So the arms are nice and active here, rolling around on the exhale. You're also giving a nice mobilization, bringing some nice lubrication almost. Lotion is our motion is lotion in yoga. Inhale, lift the arms a little higher, so maybe halfway between your hips and your shoulders, and then repeat that. So exhaling, internal rotation. Inhaling, nice full external rotation. You feel the arms and the shoulders working a little harder here. And then come to shoulder height if that's comfortable, or wherever is comfortable for you, whatever height is comfortable, but no higher than shoulders. And then we're going to continue this on the exhale, this internal rotation. And then external rotation there with the arms as you inhale. Take the arms a little higher again. So coming towards a V shape. And then we have this internal rotation as we exhale and external rotation as we inhale. Take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, keeping the hands so that they're about shoulder distance apart, and release the shoulders to the waist. Roll the palms forwards, and then we're going to take the elbows out to the side so that they're in line with your shoulders, or whatever is comfortable for you. You might be a little bit lower, but no need to be any higher. Nice active hands here, so spread the fingers nice and wide. And just invite the elbows back, sit forward slightly on the chair, so that you just get a lovely opening here across the chest, across your heart space. Drop the shoulders away from the ears so that you're not unwittingly bunching. And then we're going to take a little torso twist here. As you exhale, take a little turn to the left side. So keeping the elbows apart, keeping the fingers towards the ceiling, and look round over that left shoulder. On your inhale, nice and slowly flow back to center. And then exhale around to the other side. Flow nice and slowly back to center on the inhalations. And on the exhalations, palm towards the ceiling. You can extend the arms out to the side and back around to the side of the body. Take a nice full inhalation as you invite your shoulders up towards your ears. And then exhale, drop back behind you. Inhale up to the ears and exhale, back behind. And inhale up to the ears and exhaling back behind. So you'll be feeling nice and warm and energized now in those arms, the shoulders, and your upper back, your thoracic spine. So we're going to take a nice full inhalation as we take the arms wide and all the way up towards the ceiling. Release the shoulders away from the earlobes. And as we exhale, roll the palms forward, start to hinge forward from the hips, belly towards the thighs. Bring the fingertips back behind you, palms facing in towards the body. And come as low as you want to come with the belly towards your thighs. Take the legs a little wider if you want to create more space for your chest. Take the fingertips back as you inhale, lengthen the crown of the head forwards. And as you exhale, release the belly to the thighs and release the hands onto your shins or your feet. Release the chin towards the chest and the crown of the head to the floor. Take a nice full inhalation, lengthen forwards with your spine. So lifting your head slightly so that the crown of the head is in line with your tailbone. And then exhale, release back towards the thighs. Release the crown of the head to the floor. And really just now almost let the upper body hang. It's almost as if you're coming into a ragdoll fold here. Just feel a nice release there from the entire back and a stretch all the way down to the lower back. Take a nice full inhalation. Exhale, sigh and soften a little bit more. Start to press through with your feet just to activate the legs a little bit more. And as you inhale, lengthen forwards with your heart center. Take your hands onto your shins. Straighten the arms just to lengthen you back up to a half fold. And as you inhale next, come all the way back up towards sitting. Exhale, have a nice sigh there. And just take a moment to let that land in the body. So the forward bends can be quite releasing there for the breath and nice and cleansing for the body. So as you exhale next, you're going to lift your left leg and interlace the hands behind the leg. Inhale, root down with your hips, lengthen up through the crown. And then as you exhale, bring that thigh in towards the belly and perhaps move the hands round to the front of the leg to the shin. So flex the foot here. And then exhale, we're going to ease forward. You're going to hinge forward from the hips all the way forward until your foot meets the floor again and the thigh and the belly are connecting. And then inhale, release back up towards sitting. Exhale, just let the body integrate there. So it's a different type of forward bend, but we're activating the thigh here. On your next exhalation, you're going to lift your right foot, flex the foot, take the hands behind the thigh, and then invite the front of that thigh towards the belly. Have a breath here. Take the hands around to the shin, if that's comfortable. And just invite that thigh a little bit closer again. Lift and lengthen as you inhale, so rooting down with the sit bones, lengthening through the crown. And as you exhale, hinging forward from the hips, thighs coming, moving towards the belly until that right foot meets the floor. And then inhale, release the hands and come back to sitting. Take a nice full inhalation. A nice full exhalation, and just close the eyes and have a breath here. Just allow that movement and that energy shift to be absorbed there by the body. So we're going to take the arms out to the side, palms facing forwards as you inhale all the way up to the ceiling with the arms. Exhale, release the hands back towards the waist, fingertips back behind you as you hinge forward, belly towards the thighs, crown the head in line with your tailbone. And then inhale, sweep the arms forwards and allow that to lift you all the way back up towards sitting. We're going to come back down again on the exhale, hinge from the hips, fingertips towards the floor and then back towards the wall behind you. So you lengthen those fingertips away from you just to fully activate the arms and the shoulders. And then when you next inhale, lengthen the arms forward, fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands, rotate the palms towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, have a little stretch out to the left side. Inhale, lengthen back towards center, and exhale here out to the right side. Inhale, lengthen towards center, release the hands and take them to the waist, keeping the elbows back behind you rather than out to the side. And then as you exhale, lengthen over to the left side, keeping those hands on the waist, elbows back, so that the stretch really is in the side body and across the heart space. Lengthen back to center on your inhalation, and then exhale to the other side, just enjoying that stretch there into the side body. Inhale back to center, keep the left hand on the left waist, and as you exhale to the side this time, take the right arm across the body, maybe past the chin, past the ear. Inhale all the way back to center, and that right hand finds the waist. And as you exhale across to the right side, the left hand lengthens across. Inhale back to center. Exhale, find the back of your chair, release the hands towards the floor, palms forwards. Nice full inhalation, and then a nice sighing, releasing exhalation as you relax the arms. Close the eyes. You can take the hands to the thighs and have a breath or two here. Notice your breath. Is it longer? Is it deepening? Is it any slower and fuller? The body is really happy to breathe once it's stretched out, released out a bit. So you're going to reach for your belt, your band, your strap, your yoga prop or your yoga substitute, prop substitute, whatever it might be. We're going to lift the left foot and take the band onto the foot. So just below the ball of the big toe across to the ball underneath the little toe. You're going to lengthen that hamstring away. So straightening out that leg. Flex the foot, so toes are back towards the chest. You're pressing through the heel. Keep your knee nice and soft. And as you inhale, take the belt into the left hand and extend out to the side of that leg until you get a nice stretch onto your inner thigh and a nice opening there for the hip. So at some point, your hip will stop you moving or your inner thigh will stop you moving. So when you get towards a point of compression, depending on where your hips are positioned, your hip sockets are positioned, your leg might be all the way out to the side, which you can see mine isn't, or you might be at a 45-degree angle or somewhere in between. Inhale back to center. Really flex through the foot, really press the heel away from you, toes back towards the shoulders, and then take the belt in either hand again so that your elbows are back alongside your waist. And so you want to lift a little bit higher here. Keep the knee soft, so don't lock your knee. Exhale, bend your knee, and then maybe wrap the hands around the belt once more so that you can have a little leverage there to bring the thigh a little closer to the belly. Inhale, lengthen away. And then exhale, release that foot to the floor nice and slowly. And then take a breath. Nice full inhalation and exhalation. You might like to close the eyes. See, does the body want to sigh? See, can you sense into the difference between right and left side? So the arm, the leg, the limbs on the right or the left side nice and active now after working that side of the body, and we're going to swap to the other side. So taking the band onto the ball of the right foot this time, lengthening that leg out, holding on with both hands. So keep the knee soft, don't ever lock the knee. We want to get as much of a stretch in the hamstrings as comfortable by pressing that heel away and allowing the toes to come back towards your chest. And we're keeping nice openness across the chest. We're not collapsing forwards, so using the band here to give us some leverage. The arms are engaged here as well. Take both sides of the belt into your right hand, and as you inhale, lengthen out to the sides here. So nice lengthening there for the inner thigh, continuing to press away with the heel. On your inhalation, we're going to come back to center. Exhaling, bending the knee, and then taking the band in both hands again. Maybe wrap the belt around to make it a little bit shorter. And as you exhale, take that thigh back towards the belly. Inhale, lengthen that leg away, stretching out the leg, stretching out the hamstring. And then exhaling, foot to the floor. Take a moment to have a nice full in-breath, a nice full out-breath. And feel the body coming into balance here again. And then we're going to take both feet onto the belt. So have the feet together, the ankles together, the knees together. Maybe see, do you need to shorten the band a little to give you a little bit more leverage here. And then we're going to bring both legs out in front of us. And again, just ensuring that we're not locking the knees here. Because you're pulling against the band to encourage the legs to lift, you get a nice activation here for your shoulders, for your upper body as well. Your back is working, your core is working a little here. So press away with the heels. Elbows are in line with the body. So if you find that your arms are too far forwards, you'll just get a little bit more engagement of your core and a little bit more engagement for your back muscles if you have the elbows alongside the body here. So shorten the band if you need to for that. And then take the heels back towards the floor, bending the knees, sit forwards, lift and lengthen, and as you inhale, just lengthen those legs forward there as well. Point the toes away just to lengthen out the front of the legs and release the ankles a little bit. And then exhale, press through the heels. Take both sides of the belt into the left hand. Take your right hand onto your right waist or slightly around the chair behind you. And then stabilizing both shoulders. So you're pulling your left shoulder, inviting, I don't like the word pulling, but you're inviting your left shoulder back as well. You're going to exhale your torso round to the right side. On an inhalation, release back to center. On an exhale, just let the heels come back to the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen, root down, rise up through the crown, and then exhale, release there for a breath. Take a nice full inhalation. Sighing exhalation. And then as you inhale, lengthen the legs away again, straightening the legs, taking both sides of your belt into your right hand now. And then taking the left hand either onto your waist or if you can reach the back of the chair behind you. You're going to lift and lengthen, so root down with the sit bones, crown towards the ceiling. Keep this nice openness between the shoulders, and as you exhale, you're going to just have a little torso twist round to the left side, looking round there over the left shoulder. Inhale back to center in your own time. And then exhale, bending the knees, taking the feet to the floor. Root down with the sit bones, lengthen through the crown. You can let go of your band and take the feet so that they're hip width apart. And then as you exhale next, you're going to take a nice forward bend here, fully releasing. Belly to the thighs, crown of the head to the floor. Completely relax the upper back. Completely relax the shoulders. Nice full inhalation. And exhalation. Nice full inhale. And exhale and release. And then in your own time, in an inhalation, you're going to start to lift and lengthen back up towards sitting. And then if you've got something under the feet and you need to just move it out to the side or forward slightly to make space for yourself, so come to sit about halfway on the chair, or you want your sit bones comfortably resting onto the chair. You want your pelvis onto the chair, but you want plenty of space here to move forwards. And we're going to just slide the legs away from us. So make sure that you're nice and grounded. Don't let the sit bones roll forward because you'll end up on the floor. And that's a different pass. So send your heels away from you, toes back towards the chest, and just enjoy a nice openness here for the inner thighs. You can take your hands to your waist and just lengthen here. So we're going to take a slight back bend into it, root down with the hips, lengthen up through the crown, and then elbows coming back together. Just allow the chest to beam a little heart chakra, loving kindness there up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, releasing forwards with the hands and just sliding the arms slightly forward, just to release the upper back. And then inhale, release the hands forwards, take the shoulders back, have that little lengthening. You take the hands to the thighs or the waist, have that little opening and lengthening there for the front body again in a slight back bend. And then exhale, sliding the hands forward, releasing the shoulders. And inhale back towards a neutral sitting position. Take your feet to the floor. Take your hands onto the chair just for a little bit of stability. And maybe sit back a tiny little bit more. You want to be able to sit back to wherever you can be so that you can take the feet wide like this. Taking the hands onto the thighs or onto the waist. So we're going to turn actually sit forwards a little bit towards the sit bones. We're going to bend the left knee, so that the knee is just above the ankle, and your foot it's not going to turn completely to the side. That's going to be very strong for your hip, but your foot is at a 45-degree angle, so it's not straight forwards, and that helps to open us out here. And then we're going to straighten the right leg, and your foot on the right leg is more sort of parallel. So rather than being out to the side like this, which is where it might want to go, either have a parallel or at a slight angle inwards. We're going to lengthen the arms out, and then we're going to look over the middle finger of the left hand. So your left knee is out to the side, your right leg is straight, and we're looking over the middle finger of the left hand. Take your right hand to your right waist, and then rotating the left palm towards the ceiling, bend the elbow and take that elbow to your thigh, and have a really active hand here. So don't collapse forwards, keep that shoulder back, nice openness between the shoulders. Press down with the forearm to lift and lengthen you here, and as you inhale, lengthen that arm across the body. So coming into a warrior two and then an extended warrior here. Inhale all the way back to center, take the hands to the waist, take the left hand to the left thigh, and then we'll just take a little stretch backwards in, so almost like a reverse warrior here. Inhale back to center, lengthen that leg away. And then we're going to swap to the other side. So bend the right knee. Your right ankle is underneath your right heel. You have this angle with this front foot. The more you turn your foot around to the side, in towards your mat, the more you'll feel it into your hip. So find the angle that's comfortable for your hip. And then the back leg is straight. And we have the back foot either parallel or just slight 45-degree angle rather than don't have that foot facing away from you. So we want a slight internal rotation here on this thigh. We're going to take the arms out to the side, nice and slowly. Look over the middle finger this time on the right hand. Press down, rise up. And then we rotate the palms towards the ceiling. You can bend your right elbow, take that forearm to the thigh, take your your left hand onto your left waist. And again, nice active hand. And rather than allowing the body to collapse forwards, use that forearm to lift you, to have this openness across the chest. And as you inhale, lengthen across here now with the left arm for a nice side stretch into this. Inhale back to center. And then we'll take the reverse into it. So taking the left hand onto the left waist and then stretch back to the side. Lovely. Taking both arms to the waist, taking both legs out in front of you. Again, this time bend both knees so that both knees are sort of above the ankles. So you just don't want them too far forwards. I'm going to press down with the hands onto the thighs. Just make sure that you're nice and connected here again with the sit bones. So coming into almost like a goddess stretch here. So this time your feet are slightly outwards. So lift and lengthen here. You'll feel the opening here into the hips and maybe into the inner thighs. Press down with the hands, lengthen up the shoulders and the waist there. And as you exhale, hinge forwards as far as you like to go. So part of the head can come so it's in line with the tailbone, but you might even want to go a little bit further and take your hands to the floor. If there's no need for that, you can keep the hands onto the thighs. You feel a good stretch here onto your inner thighs. You feel your entire back stretching. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen forwards, back up to sitting again. And then exhale, slide the feet away and release. Slide the feet back to center so that they're together, and then all the way back in so that the heels are underneath the ankles again. Take a nice full inhalation and a sighing exhalation. Nice full inhale and sighing exhale. And then you're going to we're going to sit back into the chair. We're going to move now. Just one more movement or two before our Shavasana. So we're going to play with a little sort of seated balance rather than standing balance today, and then we'll be ready to have our break. So take both of your feet off the floor, flex the feet and take the legs forward. And just shift your weight over onto your right side. Maybe lift the left thigh away from the chair. Take the hands out to the side here. So your left hip is removed from the support. Your left thigh is removed from the support. Then you're really balancing here onto one side. And then take the hands back to the waist and back towards center. We'll take it out to the other side. So leaning slightly to the left side, lift the right knee slightly so that the thigh moves away from the chair, and then lift so that the hip moves away from the chair. Only if you feel safe here, obviously only if you feel balanced. Straighten out that left leg and then stretching out here into the side. And then inhaling back to center. We'll take it once more to the other side. So just shifting the weight. So it's the kind of thing you might have to do sometimes when you're reaching across to get something. You're literally shifting your weight or using this leg to keep us balanced. So if you completely relax that leg, you might go lump out to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Land. And then inhale. Lift a little, exhale, balance out to the other side. Take that hip away. Take the weight to the side here. And exhale. Back to center. And release. So now balancing has to be done on the feet. We balance on all fours, we balance on our feet. We also balance a little bit sitting down, but that's very handy if you need to stretch for things. And often the reason we fall over what we do is we lose our balance. So the way to keep your balance is that the leg that's lifted is not following. If that follows, then you're going to fall over, but that's holding its gravity back in the opposite direction here. So find your position now for your Shavasana. You might like to lie down on your sofa, get into a nice comfy armchair. You might be doing this in your bedroom, in which case you can pop onto the bed, or you might be just happy to rest in the chair that you're in. Cover yourself with a blanket or a rug, just something so that you stay nice and cozy. And just make sure that you're keeping a nice neutral length in your spine, that your neck is, your head is nice and supported. So we've done lots of work, particularly on the upper body, a little bit of core work to there, and that balancing is a little bit of core work as well that we do, but it also gives you a little side shift. Anything where we're just resting on one side of the body represents balancing, and it shifts the brain chemistry. So we like lots of movement to shift energy, to almost a little kind of re-energizing practice there. Releasing as well for the back and the shoulders. And I think particularly when we're in a lot, when we're sitting in a lot, when we're maybe on the sofa a little bit more, we're tending to collapse forwards. That's not really useful at the moment. So make sure you have a nice drink of water afterwards. So have your music for your Shavasana on hand. I'm going to guide you for the first few minutes into your relaxation. And I'm going to leave you to continue and finish that yourself in your own time. So allow your supports to fully take your weight. And allow your entire body to release fully into your supports, to give way fully to the supports. Allow your awareness to find your breath. And just check in now, is the body naturally breathing a little longer, slower, deeper, fuller breaths than perhaps when you first sat down? Is there any sense of spaciousness, length, expansion, release created in the body? And perhaps a little bit of that spaciousness, that expansion, that release may also have made its way to your mind, may also have allowed a little release of perhaps emotional tension as well as physical tension, maybe mental tension. Set your sankalpa now, set your intention for your relaxation. So as well as integrating the benefits of the practice that we've just completed, is there anything else that you'd like to call in to your day? Call in for the next few minutes. Is there anything else that would serve you? And that's as much about your attitude and how you relate to your environment and how you relate to external stressors. So maybe calm, ease, balance, strength, flexibility, patience, whatever it is that you feel might be helpful and useful to you. Setting a general intention to let go, to release anything that's standing in the way of your highest good, anything that's no longer serving you. If there's anything in particular, any particular attachments or any particular things that you would like to release, and they might be mental, physical, emotional, just naming that too. Sometimes if we name what it is that's challenging us, we feel a little bit more controlled to engage with it positively. Allow your breath to become nice and long, deep, slow and full. And as the moments pass little by little, allow your breath to deepen. Allow exhales whenever your body is inclined to sigh, to be sighing breaths. Allow your inhalations to be nurturing and revitalizing breaths. Relax your jaw. Soften your mouth, your lips, your tongue.